rolling right along from the non-conference, and now we are ready for Big Ten play. And it'll be on the road in Lincoln, and here to talk about it with the 2-1 Michigan Wolverines is the former Wolverine himself, Jim Scarcelli, who is on the show, and everybody gives him a round of applause. Great to see you, Scar. What's going on?
Yeah, we put it together, and it's Central Michigan. Let's not get too excited. Who probably didn't have one guy that could break our top 25 on defense, but we did some good things. We ran our quarterback a little bit, and we showed some things. And I think it was a good tune-up for Nebraska because Central wanted to play physical, and that's what Nebraska wants to do. So, there's a lot of confidence going on down there, and we're 2-1 and ready to go on the road because we've been on the road with our young team, young quarterback, and I think we're ready to handle that environment.
Yeah, I'm more excited than I probably should be. I saw Bryce Underwood on the road. I didn't think he looked very good against Oklahoma, but you're telling me it was Central Michigan. I know that, but watching him as a dual threat quarterback, it really didn't matter if it was Central or if he was doing that in practice. The quickness, the athleticism, to swing around and make some of these runs. I mean, he is as advertised. I mean, I know every week somebody's talking about how great he is, and nobody's ever seen anyone like him. I mean, he said that himself. I agree with him. I mean, I have never seen anything like it. Underwood looks great to me. I think the sky's the limit for this team. I'm very excited if I'm a Michigan fan that they turn this team over to Bryce Underwood and he has the green light to do everything now. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, week 4 for him. So, he's been through he's started 4 years in high school, started in state championship games at Ford Field. This is week 4 now. So he's he's getting into that point where he's not a freshman pretty soon here. Really. I mean, I just think we're going to keep getting better and a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you wonder if they would have let him, do whatever he wanted against Oklahoma, if the game would have been different. I didn't think so. Watching it wasn't like he was really throwing the ball well against Oklahoma, but this added dimension just makes you think that this team is they're a dangerous team. Now they got to win. They got to win this game. If they win this game, it feels like to me they're not only just dangerous in the Big Ten, but they're a dangerous team to get into the college football playoffs, and he is only going to get better. So, I don't know. I'd say the sky's the limit for the team, but if they can get this win, if he looks anything like he has in these 2 home games and he wins this game, then I think everybody's calculus, everybody's predictions. I mean, I know there were Michigan fans predicting great things, but I think there's a lot of great football in store for this team if they can come out and win this game on the road.
Yeah, we've got some tough games. So obviously 1 game at a time, first Big Ten game. So, let's focus always on winning the Big Ten championship, getting into that state Big Ten championship game. I
don't know. I think that's old school thinking, Scar. I mean, that's fine. You want to talk about 1 game at a time or winning the Big Ten. It's making the playoffs. It's making the playoffs and being one of those 12 teams and then seeing what you can do once you're in the tournament. I mean, that's the conversation now. I mean, that was the conversation.
Okay. I'd rather win a Big Ten championship and make the playoff. That's what I would rather do.
That's okay. I'm all right with that. I'm not trying to make it sound like you don't know what you're talking about or anything. That's a perfectly fine way to approach it.
I want some kind of hardware. At the end of the year, I want a ring, baby, something. Big Ten championship ring, something, and then let's get to that playoff. But Nebraska's there, man. They're in our way, Denny.
Well, I would say it's a little bit like it's very understandable what you're saying, but it's like in college basketball. Sure, you'd like to win the Big Ten regular season. I mean, that's a nice thing. You wouldn't mind winning like Michigan did last year, the Big Ten tournament, because they got a ring. But if you don't win the Big Ten tournament and you don't win the Big Ten regular season, and then you got into the actual NCAA tournament and you made it almost to the Final Four, that is more desirable than coming away with a regular season title a Big Ten tournament title. It's all about, the playoffs, and that's the way it is in college football now. But it's all right wanting to, get some kind of ring. I mean, the focus was totally that. It's going to take years, Scar, for you. I mean, how many times did Bo, he was asked all the time, I don't care. We're telling our guys we just want to win the Big Ten. So, okay. So, a guy says something for 100 years is going to be hard.
Well, it was mythical. There was no tournament, but it was mythical.
I know.
National championship. It was all mythical.
Yeah, he had to trust.
But you could win the Big Ten championship. That was unquestioned. So
right. Yeah, we get where you're coming from, and I think most people completely understand what you're talking about. If not, being in total agreement with you. So there you go. All right, Scar, there it is up on the screen. What we're going to talk about. You're going to look around the rest of the Big Ten. We do have the very popular, the favorite spot each and every week. Sometimes you do it on Tuesday now, but here you are on a Monday, film analysis with Jim Scarcelli. He's got the arrows, he's got the dots, he's got things circled that he's going to present to us coming up straight ahead. And then we do have this game that we're starting out with Michigan on the road at Nebraska. This is, without, throwing out all the cliches, this is, what it's all about.
Denny, I can jump into some Nebraska film too at the end if you want to. If we have time, I got some Cincinnati, Nebraska film that we could get into if we have time. Anyway, Denny, my take on Nebraska is this: Matt Rule is a real good coach. This is year 3 for him. He usually makes things happen. He turned around a crummy Temple team, built them, turned around a Baylor when they were all jacked up, got them winning. And he's a builder. He wants to play physical. He's got some Parcell roots. This is a better matchup for us than Oklahoma was. It's a better matchup for our defense. It'll probably be a low-scoring game. Both similar coaches want to run the football more. It's a better matchup for our defense. The quarterback is not as athletic. The predetermined quarterback run game, it's in, but it's not like we saw it against Oklahoma. Okay, so it'll be schematically, there's some things that are going to be easier for our defense. The fact that they want to play physical, it'll be similar to what we see. So the defenses have an advantage in this game because both offenses are similar conceptually. He's a good, big, tall quarterback. Doesn't run as well as Mateer. They went out and upgraded their athleticism at the receiver position. They went and got Spindler. They got a kid that started at Notre Dame, man. Offensive guard Spindler from Clarkston here. So they went out and got some players. They got some money. They brought some good transfer skill guys in. That was always the thing with Nebraska, skill guys, and they've got some better skill guys. He lost his defensive coordinator who went to Florida State, but he got another good one in. Anyway, offensively, I think I like our matchup. Daniel Holgorsen is the offensive coordinator. He's been a former head coach, Houston and West Virginia. He's all over the place. He's hard to figure out. He's hard to get a beat on. He'll throw the bomb on first down. He's a courageous guy, and Wink will study him. But I've always was impressed with him as an offensive coordinator. Doesn't go by the book. But I like our chances of stopping him. I'd rather defend them than Oklahoma. Defensively, because the quarterback run is not so prevalent in the offense. Defensively, this guy's worked under some real good people. He worked under the guy at Buffalo, who's a real good defensive coach, Buffalo Bills, real good defensive coach. And they're kind of doing some different things, I think, than what they had done last year and in the past. So the guy, they're pretty sound. They're good. They're good. They're good sound. They give you different looks. They give you different things. I don't know if they're as athletic as Oklahoma was. But they'll be good at defending the run. We got to really execute. We got to block the right guy because they're going to give us a lot of different looks, stunts, slants, etc. But I like our chances, man. We're in a good situation mentally. Bryce has started on the road. I said it. I like our chances here. Nebraska's crowd will be out of this world. They're 3-0. Place will be loud and loud and nasty, just like we saw against Oklahoma. But we can get to Raiola. He's got the rushing him is a whole lot different than rushing Mateer and rushing Bryce Underwood, because the athleticism it's okay, but it's not on the level of Mateer. The
other thing that's not on the level of Mateer is just how highly thought of Dylan Raiola was coming out of college. I mean, coming out of high school. Guy was a 5-star. He went through everything last year. I would expect him to be twice as good as he was last year, now that he's got all of that experience under his belt. And, I covered his, everybody, saw Dominic Raiola. He played center for the Detroit Lions for 14 years. If he's got any kind of don't take any crap attitude, the way his old man approached things, that he probably does, he's going to be the dangerous one. So he doesn't run. There's not many guys that run like Mateer does, but this guy's a full-fledged 5-star with a whole year of experience under his belt. And the thing for me, you mentioned it there just in talking about it, that Nebraska is a physical team under Rule. That's the way he wants to play. If you go back last year, the way they played against Ohio State, I mean, they lined up and they punched Ohio State right in the mouth. They were right there against the Buckeyes. I think that game was on the road too. So that's a physical team. This is not going to be an easy game. And, I'm expecting a 3-point game either way right now.
Yeah, so am I. Low scoring game, close game. We can't, no turnovers, man. This is the same deal. Denny, against this team, no turnovers. Let's be great in the special teams. Let's win the special teams. Stop the run. But it's always stop the run. But this team wants to run the ball. They want to run the ball.
None of that crap worked against Oklahoma. They were good against the run, and Michigan was +2 of the turnovers, +3 if you take it when they got the gift and the guy ran into the punter. So they were +3 in the turnovers, and they couldn't do anything offensively. This team needs to show up on the road offensively. Let's see what they can do.
No, I get it, but I'm talking about from defensively. We got to take away their run game. And our offense has to be better than it did against Oklahoma.
That's fine. That's fine. To me, this is on the offense. I think the defense will bring enough.
Yeah, and they're low scoring because both offenses are similar to what they want to do. Got it.
Not the under is what you're saying here.
Yeah, I think the unders. I don't know what it is, but that's the deal there. I like our chances, and it's a 1.5 point game somewhere. I think Michigan's actually a favorite, but because of what we did against Central Michigan, and because of the way Bryce looked, people, the bookies are probably thinking that Michigan is going to be a much better team game 4.
I think the bookies might be onto something.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Denny, I'm going to go real quick on some other things around the league.
All right.
Scheduling, think about scheduling, how the luck of the draw. I've been there as a coach. Imagine having USC on your schedule or UCLA. Huge difference this year. Huge difference. They just fired the coach at UCLA, fired the coach at Virginia Tech. Anyway, they just got beat by New Mexico. We thought New Mexico was a joke. UCLA got beat. Anyway, my point is scheduling. Anyway, USC is good. They're a beatable team. They went to Purdue. Purdue Purdue is good, well coached. So USC will be another tough, brutal game. I'm continuing to stay high on Michigan State. They do some things. They got an athletic quarterback. Something that pisses me off, Danny. USC, Michigan State. You know what time they play Saturday? 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, 11. Okay.
11 p.m. You think they care about these players? Oh yeah, we care about these players.
Who's that piss off you? Who's that pissing off?
It pisses me off because the Michigan State football team, those guys aren't going to get back to East Lansing probably till 8 a.m. the next day. Oh yeah, we care about the players. Don't get me started. Anyway,
nobody say they could that anybody cares about the players. Players are getting paid. Man, these guys are pros, and they don't have any complaints about that. And Michigan State, they can complain all they want, but they get their gigantic cut of that money that gets distributed. So, I mean, this is what you sign up for. You're playing at any time. So,
I guess every kid on the Michigan State team is getting a big stack of money. All them 100 guys are getting a stack of money. Anyway, that's that.
Some of them are in the university. So I don't know why. It was like, what are you going to do? Everybody, the ticket prices are going up. They're paying through the nose when it comes to money. And we're just going to complain about it. Go ahead.
11 a.m. Enjoy it, fellas. Enjoy that plane ride home at 5 in the morning.
I would complain about it. To your point, I would complain about it if Michigan was playing at 11 o'clock. I wouldn't like it. I don't like the 9 o'clock tips in basketball season. So, but I understand. Good. Complain about it. But, there we go. I would say this, that just looking at the numbers, I have not watched USC. I don't know about this quarterback. But the quarterback numbers and any kind of quarterback stats that you're looking up, the USC guys up there at the top. So, and knowing the history and Lincoln Riley and quarterbacks, I'm expecting that Michigan is going to run into an outstanding quarterback coming up in 3 weeks, I guess now.
Good team. Lincoln Riley's a good coach. He won it in Oklahoma. He's a good coach. He's elevated his talent. That game is going to be another war. Oklahoma, war on the road. Nebraska, war on the road. USC, buckle up. Michigan State, buckle up. That's Big Ten football. Anyway,
would you hire Jonathan Smith if you're UCLA? He's from.
I'd hire the guy at New Mexico, the guy that just beat him. Or I'm gonna tell you another great coach is the guy at Tulane. I'm real big on the guy at Tulane. Like an idiot, I bet against him this week against Manny Diaz, of all people. Anyway.
Yeah, you're not a fan of Manny.
Paid $3 million for the quarterback from Tulane and got beat by Tulane. Anyway, I like the Tulane coach. I like the UCLA coach. I like the New Mexico coach. Anyway, Michigan played 44 guys on offense, Denny. That's great because this is one of the last time a lot of those guys are going to get chances to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I was real happy to hear that. 44 Michigan offensive football players played, 36 on defense. Beagle. Is it Beagle or Beigel? Number 76?
Beigel.
He had 29 snaps. A lot of guys. He had more snaps than Benny. Denny, was TJ guy hurt?
No.
What's going on with he didn't play.
The Biff today said that they held him out because Central was a run team, which doesn't, I don't think anybody's buying that. So it sounds like to me that it was something behind the scenes. Maybe there's some pushing and shoving at practice. Maybe he told a coach to go jump in a lake. I don't know. It looked like a disciplinary.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. You're just seeing it.
I mean, if the guy really was 100% healthy and there wasn't anything disciplinary for holding him out, guys want to start and guys want to play regardless of what's going on. So nobody was buying that from Poggi, but it was.
I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to speculate. I'm just going to speculate. When you move Barham to the edge, you're going to have some pissed off, hurt feelings. So he's taking reps from TJ Guy and Nichols and even Brandt. So linebackers are happy because that's opening more reps for Rolder and Big Cole and those guys. But I think you had some hurt feelings, and you had some. I bet you had some tough conversations this week when Wink started giving more reps to Barham. And I don't think it's going to change based on the way Barham played. We're going to look at his film. So I think I ain't buying what Wink's what Biff said either. No, I think there's hurt feelings. There was a tough conversation there. 12 defensive backs played. Bowles is the other guy. He got 3 reps. So maybe they feel good about Bowles.
He looked good. He made some plays.
Yeah. Anyway, looking at that, I'm going to just say this real quick. If I'm Sharon Moore, I don't know that I would have put Biff as the head coach. I would have given it to a guy like given opportunity to a guy like Morgan, a guy like Big Grant. I'm just thinking as a coach, you're always fighting for your assistants, and you pad their resume. You let them get it on their resume. That's all I want to say about it. I would have given one of my assistant coaches the chance to be a head coach. Go ahead. Your thoughts on anything I said?
Well, it would be interesting because we don't know, because Harbaugh couldn't have an analyst. He had to have one of the coaches. And the first wave of suspensions, he had different guys in different games. It didn't matter. I mean, it was all a lot of fun because they were playing a bunch of garbage or lamb chops, as you would call them. Or when they got in the second suspension, the Stallion suspension, then he just picked Sharon. Yeah, if it was me, I would have gone to Wink first and said, "Hey, Wink, you've been around the block. He seems like he has the most cachet. I would have asked him what he wanted to do. But since they have a rule and it doesn't upset the apple cart and everybody knows the roles, and Biff was just a head coach down in Charlotte, it seemed like an easy transition for him to go up there and be the head man. So I don't have any problem with it. I don't know if you can take anything because they're different rules from the way Harbaugh handled it.
Yeah. I'm going to go down my list.
On that is the offensive line. They got a big question mark on him. So taking Grant away from something where everybody's wondering what kind of coach he is, Lamar Morgan just taking somebody out of thin air. If you're giving somebody an attaboy, maybe it would be Ron Bellamy, but his position group had a big question mark on them as well. But there's no more of a Michigan man than Ron Bellamy. That would have been, somebody if he was just looking from there. But, it's not an attaboy. Let's just give somebody a day in the sun because we're playing easy teams. They got to go play Nebraska, and they've got new rules here. So I don't know if any of that stuff with Harbaugh mattered.
Okay. All right. We disagree. I would give it let those guys pad their resume. Anyway, it was good to see Klein in the game. And it's Hansen is back in the mix. We have to have tight ends that can block in the game, and we didn't have it against Oklahoma, so that's a big thing. Seeing those guys back, you talk about development of depth. We have to have two new guards in the game. We'll look at the film. These guys, there you go, your third and fourth guard, and now I'd like to know who the hell the fifth one is. If we don't get these guys back, I don't know what's going on with El Hadi and some of that, but it's so important in these two lamb chop games that you play guys and you develop depth. So
just to jump in, El Hadi is not going to play this Saturday, but it looks like Norton could. But Garnera graded out well. Biff talked about him that he played well today, so. They said they'll make that decision on, who would be the guard, whether it would be Norton coming back or whether it's going to be Garnera, who played well against Central. So there you go.
Okay, well, you got to have depth. It was good to see us rush and try to block a punt. We don't have that on film, but I did see that. You can't go return all the time. So we did try to block a punt.
What did you think of the operation of Michigan returning punts? So what I'm talking about is Samaj Morgan. It was an adventure almost every time it was kicked back there. What do you think?
I know it's unbelievable. And the ball's bouncing around in front of him, and he's trying to recover it for what? A yard? Get the hell away from it! There's seven dudes surrounding you. We got to be smarter there, man. So. It's just like anything. It's reps in front of 100,000 catching punts, but he's got to get better. We got to get more confident there and smarter.
Well, it's been 3 years for him. So if it was Marsh, who's a true freshman, and he was back there, you'd understand. Like, he's turning right, he's looking left like he did in the opener. I'd never seen anybody do that. That could be enough to put him on the sideline. He muffed one in the opener. He's diving on a live ball when he should be away. He doesn't seem like he's a very good judge on when to catches and when to fall. He's got his teammates running into him left and right. I mean, it's a little bit of a Keystone Cop situation, but I'm a big Samaj Morgan guy, and I know what he can do when he has the ball in his hand. So I think they're living with some of that, hoping that he gets it all out of his system because he's such a dangerous player with the ball in his hands. But it does, if somebody said that's going to cost Michigan in a game this year, you'd say, well, you completely understand why they would say that.
Yeah. I think it was obvious the plan is to move our quarterback a little bit. And there's some good things that does, Denny. It stresses your edge. Your edge players have to be even more capable. That's kind of more old school stuff. When I was playing, you had a lot of rollout stuff. And it really stresses your edge players to take on blocks in a different way. And there's some, it shortens the field. You got half the field you're working with. So, but it was obvious in this game that there was an effort to move the pocket and move him. And there's a lot of good things with that. And we'll look at the film and you'll see it. I really like Haynes as a blocker. I think he's in there. He can block. They've done a good job, and he's a physical kid. And he's in there. He can block. Chip talked about simplifying things after the Oklahoma loss. And, what that means is, okay, you're going to take away some things and shorten the playbook a little bit. And it didn't look like it so much this week because we executed. But that's what you want to be good at a few things where guys aren't thinking so much. And if that was always the Harbaugh philosophy, a few tricks off of some stuff, but you got to always be good at a few things. So we'll see how that mentality plays out, because there were not as many mental mistakes in this game when I look at the offensive line compared to against Oklahoma.
Didn't you think the story of this game was just unleashing Underwood and turning the team over to him where he can do whatever he wants now?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of plays that he created and manufactured on his own, and we'll see it on film. And then there was, Denny, the bottom line is there was predetermined runs, and we'll look at those plays. That changes everything, Denny. When you call predetermined runs for your quarterback, it opens up everything. And we'll look at the film, Denny. It's like covering a guy in basketball who has a nice little 12-foot jumper, and he can go to his right hand, but he got no left. Like defending you can't go left. Guess what, Denny? Now our offense can go left. We can go right, and we can shoot a jumper because we are running our quarterback. We're not, again, I said it, defending Oklahoma or defending Michigan with the exact same players. I'd rather have defended the Michigan offense because they weren't running their quarterback. So this is this time, I think, and to be honest with you, I'm not blaming Chip. I think not running Underwood against Oklahoma was a Sharon Moore decision because they don't want to get him banged up. Maybe that, I just think, I know for me as a head coach, those were my decisions. Those are like head coach decisions. Whether you're going to put your five-star, franchise in harm's way, that is not an offensive coordinator decision. I think they shut him down against Oklahoma, and Chip and Sharon had a talk Sunday night, and they said, "The hell with it. We're gonna let it rip."
I agree with you. I agree with you on how it played out. I also agree that it wasn't that bad of a strategy. That didn't work. And so you could say, well, what are you talking about? Even with hindsight, you're going to say, no, that this was a team that post-pandemic, ran their way and protected their quarterback by, playing ground and pound. And they, had an 18-year-old kid on the road for his first game. To me, it was a smart approach. I'm sure at halftime when they were looking up at the scoreboard and there was a big goose egg there, they didn't feel good about it. And the thing is they changed. And so that's part of it. If we were sitting here and they didn't run it all, and everybody would be saying, well, they were just going to let them turn them loose. And they say, okay, now it's going to be this game. They've done it now. So they've arrived at a good spot. If you want to criticize them against Oklahoma, I think it's fair. Although I understood what they were doing. And I think
predetermined runs are low risk. There's zero risk. From the only risk is getting your quarterback hit, but it's not, having him throw the football is more of a risk in terms of, the young freshman quarterback, but simply running quarterback power, which you'll see that we ran, that's just grabbing the ball and running behind your two guards. There's no thinking there. It's very easy for him to execute. Throwing the football is, and I'm just giving you my opinion again on that. I think they held him back because they didn't want to get him banged up, taking those hits. And that's different than asking a kid to make, dime passes. But I questioned not kicking after Zavada missed that one kick. Sometimes, you want to get your kicker because we end up going for it. Remember, you're going to hammer this team. And then we didn't kick. I just like to get his head back right because he did miss a kick in that game. We got to have, sometimes those are decisions you make as a kicker. Or as a coach, do you want to, get your kicker back his confidence?
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah. What else did you have on your list, Danny? Anything else before the film?
Well, I think that the question about whether they're going to be going for it in short yardage situations is at least something fair to look at against New Mexico. Remember, we went back; they had a 4th and 1 from midfield, and you feel like everybody's going to go for that every single time, whoever the opponent is, and they didn't. And it seemed to not right at that moment, but the game did seem to turn. And then against Oklahoma, they had a 3rd and 6. It was the one that Zavada made me think about. It was the field goal that he missed. I mean, they were 3rd and 6, and they just ran it up the middle to make it a 4th and 2. Well, if you're going to run it on 3rd and 6, run it on 4th and 2, and they didn't. They decided to kick the field goal there. I don't like that. I'd like to see when you got some 4th and 1 plays, you got some 4th and 2, and now maybe that they have the multi-faceted quarterback that can bootleg and do everything else. Maybe now that they will be going forward a little bit more, but that's at least something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, New Mexico was no joke. That's a good coach with a good quarterback. He went to the Rose Bowl and got that guy fired.
What's that? I'm sorry about getting who fired.
I told you New Mexico was a good coach.
Right.
The guy was very well coached, and he had a good quarterback. He went to UCLA and beat UCLA and got that coach fired.
Woo.
So, that guy's good, man. His kids play physical, smart.
Yeah. Are we ready to watch the film? Well, let's tell everyone that Scar's telestration skills are coming from Quick Cut, QWIKCUT Video and Analytics, your place to store, share, and analyze the game film. That's what it's all about. There we are. And it's sitting there, and it looks, I got to say, it looks really good, Scar, up out there.
Well, let's hope. Let's see if we've had some trouble. Let's see if game 3, we're done with training camp. Anyway, obviously, when people turn on the game, the first thing you see is 55 in the game at left guard. And you see, say his name, Danny. That's Phoebe.
It's Afobe, Afobe and Garnera.
Garnera and Afobe. Okay. And then you've got big 77 in there. So we got 6 offensive linemen in the game. Frazier's in there. They're trying to get Frazier work. They're trying to get him reps. So I think he is our 3rd tackle, which is smart coaching. It's exactly what I used to do. You have formations. You can get guys in the game. Every rep matters for Frazier, because if something happens to 71 or 54, Sprague, or anyway, I like this. That we come out first play of the game, and we throw the bomb, and we got new guys in the game, getting guys work. We protect well. We're running 3 guys deep, and Central Michigan does a good job. I think Bryce maybe should have looked at our tight end over here instead of where he's throwing it, but I don't have a bigger view to look at it, but he ends up throwing it, and they defend it well. But we have another guy over in here somewhere that was trying to widen the field out. But we have to have the courage on the 25-yard line to do this against Nebraska on the road. Okay, so first down, throwing the bomb, people have to see it, because we didn't do this against Oklahoma, and that play has an impact. It stretches that defense, and it changes tendencies. All right, we're in the pistol here. Danny, it gives you different things. You got your back right behind the quarterback. It has advantages than offsetting the guy here or here. There's it all means something to the defense. Believe me, all 3 of these positions for the back matter. Here's 3 and 1 on 2nd and 8. Is that the big? That's 17 there. So let's see what they run here. Anyway, different formations. I like this. We're getting that. We got good down blocks, and we're pinning guys in, and we're getting our quarterback outside the defense. This is good concept stuff. No one containing the football. We can run it, and he makes the right decision. And but I like it. We probably could have ran the football up there at the top, but we get people pinned in. I like this. This is what stresses the defense. You get the ball outside the defense with a quarterback that can run. I mean, he could have ran for 6-7 yards, and he picks it up there, secure the ball. This guy's been good. Good throw, good decision, good protection, good scheme. Good job by Chip getting them outside the defense. This is why, here's 3rd and 5. This is the 5-star, man. We need this against Nebraska. Man, I give this guy, Denny, I tell you, I'm seeing things with him, how quickly he recognizes a seam when pass protection. He just sees it and sees it fast, and they've given him the green light. And he has a talent there. And some of this stuff, we'll look at other plays. I thought maybe it was predetermined, but no, he's just seeing it and recognizing it, and he's just turning and going. The coaches have given him the green light, and if you see a seam, and Denny, this is the stuff that gives defenses headaches. But that play right there, Nebraska's defense doesn't want to see it because it just screws up your pass rush. It slows down your pass rush. Anyway, here we are, 1st and goal. We got big 77 in the game. So we got 83 here. He's getting better as a blocker, Marshall. We got 77, so we've got 6 offensive linemen. We're caving that side in, blocking everybody down, hammering it, and he takes it inside. I want to see these quarterbacks carry out fakes, Denny. I'm an old option. I'm an old, right here. There's a mesh point right there, okay? The defense has to see Bryce carry out a fake. Being a cheerleader here or whatever, that's not good. Carry out a fake like you have the football.
He shuffled over there a little bit.
Denny, run it like you have it. Run it like you have the football, because these guys right here, they're not even honoring it. See how they're pinching in there?
Yeah.
I want them to honor this. I want this guy to honor this. Not see, he's slamming in. This dude's slamming in there. At least this guy should honor it. Those little things matter. Anyway, good drive, good play selection, good execution. Quarterback made plays. We blocked the right guys. We got 2 young guards in there. We hammer them. We got Frazier getting reps. Great scenario for a first drive. Denny, this is new. This is I haven't seen this in a long time. This wink is old school. I think we used to call it a flex nose guard. This goes way back. Woody Hayes used to run this. This is our base personnel. So instead of having him right here over the nose guard, head up on the nose, he's doing the same thing, only he's got him like 3 yards off the ball. So it gives you some advantages. You can slant this guy here. You can slant him here. You can even drop him if you want. It gives the offense a little bit of conflict. And you see Barham right away in the game, and the dude is athletic as hell. And he, that's just athleticism right there. I mean, that's speed and athleticism, and he's going to make a hell of a lot more money playing the edge. I guarantee you they had that talk, Wink and bringing him back, because there's a lot more money paying for, look at Parsons, and he does some things that looks like Parsons. I mean, this kid's 250 pounds, and he can run, and he recognizes this. You got to read the mesh point, and he sees it and reads it, and you just see the athletic ability. He works right now, real quick, right shoulder, and I mean, it's boom. That's athletic ability, man. So that you got guys like TJ Guy, and there's some of these guys are going to be they're going to be frustrated, man, with this decision, because now you're looking at Moore here and you're looking at Barham. Those are our two starting edge players. Saturday, these 2 guys are going to start. And what's the down and distance? 3rd and 10. And again, we're in the flex. You got Is that Benny there? I think it's, I'm not sure what number that is. Anyway, we're in the flex, Denny. Let's try to see what are they doing with it. And he's just bull rushing right there. He's going right at the center. And Barham is just showing speed. He beats this back to the spot. The kid's still able to throw the ball. And good recovery by our secondary. Denny, I think we might be okay with the film now, man. We've made it this far. No BS. Any thoughts on anything?
No, I like it, but I didn't. The part that I didn't think about with Guy is that he could have had his feelings hurt because they were going to put Barham in there, and he's getting so many reps. That's what makes the most sense to me. Now, Biff, talked about him being a team guy and everything else, but he could have been frustrated, and now he's got to get back up there, and and everybody's got to be a team guy, and everything else. But yeah, I mean, you can see how you could have some hurt feelings with Barham.
See, that's the player and the coach in me. You reading between the lines that people aren't talking about, because right away when I see that, I've been in that position as a player and I've been in that position as a coach. You got hurt feelings. Anyway, this is what I like is we're stressing edges. So this dude and this dude, when you play Michigan now, you got issues you got to deal with, that they like to get this guy outside the pocket. And I really like Haynes as a blocker, but those are little things that add up that they're going to have, the defenses are going to have to deal with. So anyway, we get, and I like the block by Haynes here. He gets somebody pinned right here. He gets this guy pinned. Look at the block. That's why he plays. And our running back coach has done a good job. Danny, I'm going to knock on wood. We have not turned the ball over at running backs, right, this year?
No. I think they just had Underwood threw a pick, but
but our running backs are securing the ball. So, coach, shout out to Coach Tony, right?
Yes.
So, anyway, I like rolling them out. Good stuff. Here's 3rd and 4. We got number 80 making a play. Great protection. We get Central Michigan confused. And what are we running on 3rd and 4? Yeah, they're confused up here. Oh, 80. Okay, I got 80 circled. We got to get this guy blocking, man. We got to be able to run, Denny. We got to be able to run a run play when he's in the game. Again, you don't want to be an imposter where they know when you're in the game, they're not running at you. I've said that 1,000 times, but they are screwed up over here in their coverage. And what did we do to create that? What did Chip do something to create confusion? Let's take a look. I'll go slow. What did he do to create confusion? Well, we've got 2 guys here. It's a simple thing, but they're jacked up. And sometimes, Denny, you do things with formation, you do things with the release of the receivers, and it creates confusion. So that is a mental breakdown. Is it partially because of our coaches? Bryce puts it right there. The receiver's wide open, but it's a mental breakdown. And, did Chip have something to do with it? You know what I mean? By the way we structure those routes.
Yeah, I got to say that particular throw from Underwood, in the opener, he was really blasting balls, with a real fastball. I mean, he did have some nice touch passes to Klein in the opener, but that particular throw right there, I mean, that's an NFL throw. That's just a great throw. I like everything about this play. I love it. I love the trajectory and how he laid it right in there to Morgan. That was, this is a big flash play to me.
He's wide open, Denny. Those are those aren't overly difficult, but you're right. Great,
the difficulty is when you got a guy that, quarterbacks, you have to be able to take things off. That was a beautiful ball. You could say you've been open or anything else, but that was a 10 out of 10. I'm telling you that everybody that watched, anybody that's ever played the position or coached that position, looked at one another and said, that was a hell of a ball. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. Anyway, this right here is something that I'm when you're coaching and you're looking at an opposing team, sometimes there's plays they run. I've said this, that you're like, what the hell are they doing here? I'm looking at this and I'm like, is this first I thought it was a predetermined run. That this is a predetermined run play, and that Bryce, or is it something he just recognized again that there's a seam in the pass protection, but look at it, and it looks like Bredesen is leading through like he's going to block, and then he goes out for a pass. It looks like quarterback ISO initially. You know what I mean, Denny? He's just going to foul Bredesen. It's a fake. It's a fake in there, and then you got Bredesen kind of like, and then he goes out to the flat, and then Bryce recognizes this quick. He recognizes this quick that, I'm running. I'm taking off and running. And that's why it's hard for me to figure that out was, how are they coaching him where he has the freedom to so quickly take off and run? Because if it's all just happening as if he's just reading it, this is more stressful on the defense. If he's just reading this thing, this is more difficult for the defense. Okay, because you have to honor some of this stuff, and it slows the pass rush down for these guys. You know what I mean? If they got to get off their blocks. So this is great stuff. If he's able to see it that quick and read it that quick and recognize it. You follow me?
I am. How about, Poggi, said he's got the green light to do whatever he wants to do. And, I asked him if he coached him when to slide or get down. He said you can coach competitors to slide, and it's good that they do. But this kid's a football player. If we could hit, stop, and everything would stop, we'd run out on the field and get him down, but we can't. So he's going to finish these runs. So I don't know. What do you make of that comment? When he's asked, a lot of times you say, no, get down. He said he's a football player.
Okay, well, I get that, but there's 100 some dudes counting on him to stay healthy. So I hear that, but I'm going to do everything I can to encourage him to understand that there's no necessary hits. Jim doesn't have anybody giving high fives to Herbert. Did you hear that story?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Jim Harbaugh's mentality about how he wants to keep his quarterback healthy. No one's giving high fives to the franchise. So
I know that's a good point. I noticed yesterday when JJ McCarthy, I was watching the Vikings, and the player was, I don't know if it was his running back or wide receiver, kind of went down like right by JJ, and I thought, oh, JJ would for sure help him up, but no, JJ's got to get. He going back in the huddle. He's got to get the play. They probably tell him, no, the quarterback's not over there helping guys up. He wants the plays done to get back over there. So that makes sense to me. I like it.
Anyway, here's I-backs, which is good. We'll see this against the. This is a good game again, Denny. This Central Michigan, what they did. This is a good game just before we play Nebraska. Schematically, formations, wanting some old school stuff, and this is a Micah Parsons type play from Barham here. He just they're trying to pull this guard, and he just beats them. He just gets there faster and right shoulder and doesn't let them outside, and that's just a great play, man. I mean, that you can see the speed there.
Yeah.
So, I tell you,
Parsons.
I mean, I'll tell you, Danny. I'll tell you right now, though, if I'm one of those other young guys that are hurt, I got hurt feelings. Put on the damn film. When I was coaching and I had kids pissed off, you put the film on of the guy who's playing in front of you, and you can't argue with it, man. You can't argue with that. You know what I mean?
No, he looked great.
Yeah. Okay. Here's 2nd and 9. Run pass formation. I like it. We don't know if they're running. I like the stances. I can't tell if it's run or pass with the stance. I like getting back to that. And we end up throwing the football. So I like it because I can't tell the stance. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. Make the defense defend everything. Normally this is it's 2nd and 9. So it is we could do either. We could do anything here. Anyway, good protection. Leaving the tight end in. I wonder if that was by design. This kid's got to be smart. Good player.
Marsh?
Number four. Marsh.
Yeah.
Got to be smart.
I like that throw. I like that throw too to Marsh.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Great throw. Here's great catch. Great protection. And this is a guy helping out the quarterback. He throws it, he throws it in a good spot, though. Only his guy can get it. We get away with a little push off.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff we got to have against Nebraska, man. We got to have this against Nebraska. Guys making plays. Good job by Hansen there.
I liked all of that right there. Yeah.
Yeah, little shove and go up 6'5", and that's Loveland right there type
What
stuff.
What do you coach your players? I mean, you get a little bit of that, so you're not telling them, hey, don't. You're telling them, hey, just play it, see what you can get away with. Are you telling them anything?
They do it all day in practice, and they coach them up on what they can get away with.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. That's what they needed to hear.
Little subtle shove, and don't extend the arm. Denny, this play changes everything. This play, right? I told you against Oklahoma, they essentially had the orgy package in. Okay, they had the orgy package in every single down that Wink had to honor. Okay, and Venables did not have to honor that when he defended us. Okay, but here we go now. This type of stuff when we start running, I guarantee you, every play we ran with Alex Orgy, it's in our playbook right now. All of the quarterback power, all the different stuff that we ran with Orgy, it's in. What we only saw was this play right here. I think there might be another one, predetermined quarterback runs. So the play is in, the stuff is in, the defense has to deal with it now. So this is now going left, like I told you, playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
And we execute it perfectly. With the young guard, he reads it real good. And this is why this stuff is so good. We're running. He's in the mesh point, and we've got a run play this way. And these guys, this side of the defense has to kind of honor that for a second until they clear the mesh point. They have to clear it because you don't know. Everybody's influencing. This can be a fake. This can be a pump fake stuff. To get these guys to fly out of there, and they hand the ball here. So this side of the defense has to honor it. All right. So we get a nice job by Guarnera. He reads the wrong arm bounce technique by the edge player, and then our and the way we used to coach this, Denny, with Bredesen here, is hook a hanger, kick a comer. So if he hangs at the line of scrimmage, right around in through here, we're going to hook him. Okay? If he comes hard upfield, we're going to kick him out. Hook a hanger, kick a comer. Did you understand that? So let's take a look.
I want to see
he ends up, the guy's hanging at the line of scrimmage, and Bredesen realizes I got to get right shoulder on this guy. Okay, I'm going to get right shoulder, hook him in, and we get outside the defense. So it was a great play design. It was perfectly executed, and it gives a lot of headaches to the defense. It's executed beautifully, and it's one of those plays, Denny. I said this when I was coaching you, and you're scouting a team, and you're going through all their stuff. And you're like, great, I got to answer for this. I got to answer for that. I got to, okay, this. And then you'll see a play. And then there'll be one play. And that one play screws your whole program up. You follow me?
I'm picking it up.
It just screws your whole program up because this is one of those plays now. So that's why I like seeing it in. I wish we would have had it in against Oklahoma. But it is what it is. We're read runner pass. This is an outstanding play. It's 4th and 1. This is a great Coach Morgan does a great job teaching this with our secondary guys. It's 4th and 1. He's got to read runner pass. I mean, they could throw the football. So a lot of guys have different philosophies. How do you teach this guy? What's he reading to read runner pass? Some guys have him read the tackle. Is the tackle blocking down? It's a run. Well, guess what? That's what he does on this play, and it's a pass. But watch how quick he recognizes it's a bubble out here. He beats the hell out of the block. punches them. I mean, that is a great football play. That's number 6.
Hillman.
That is one of the best defensive plays I've seen in this game. He doesn't know if it's run or pass. And on the snap of the ball, I wish I knew who coach had him reading, because whoever it is, he's got they rep the hell out of this stuff, and he recognizes it, and he takes a smashing left shoulder, just like playing defensive line now. It's just like playing defensive tackle, Denny. You got to be gap. He has to be outside leverage, gap. Play his gap, get upfield. Anyway, great play by Hillman there. We're on the field now. That is look at him. That's just great. That's coached up. I've been to practice watching what they do, and you got to be physical. This is a deceptive play. It's 1st and 10. It's well executed. It's deception, man. Let's have some deceptive stuff. Good job by our center here. But Denny, right now on the snap of the ball, it looks like we could run power this way, right? We're pulling 2 guards. So the defense is seeing this. What are they seeing? They're looking at a mesh point. They don't know if he's going to hand the ball off here. I mean, they see a guy in motion. Okay, but we got 2 guys pulling. So the defense has to honor all this. This side of the defense has to honor it. So we fake it to the running back, and we give it to the back, and we're off, and we're gone. And this is a great job. This is really well coached by our coaches here. This is how Denny, the center now, okay? And I played this position right here. This guy is lost. He's clueless. He should be, right now, this guy's eyes should be seeing all this. He should be seeing this, feeling this. He should be feeling, but what we do a good job doing is we got Kripp in our center. He got 2 guards pulling that way, but this guy should be seeing out of the corner of his eye. He should be seeing it, but he doesn't. Anyway, Crippen is over here at the line of scrimmage, and he's just kind of sneaking out. He doesn't get depth, and that's on purpose, because if he gets depth to try to get out here and lead, it'll be an alert for this guy. It'll be a tell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's hanging close to the line of scrimmage, and I wish I got all my lines in here now, but he hung close to the line of scrimmage, and this guy doesn't even see it. And now we're outside, and he's out here leading, and does a great job blocking. And Marsh makes the play, and go find your teammates. That was great coaching. That was great execution. And we got 20 dudes on the team could have scored that touchdown. Find the lineman, man. Great block by Crippen. It was well executed. It was deceptive how they ran it. And it was good stuff.
Scar, do you see number 4? I don't want to say that he is this player, because obviously that would be wrong, but does number 4 run and look like Anthony Carter to you? Does that enter your mind at all when you're watching him?
Let me watch a little more. Right. He does some good things. He's the way he just if you watch that reverse again, you just look at me. He's all legs. A little bit. All right, here's Wink bringing something. What do we got? 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. We got a young Shug up at the top. We got an edge player. So we have 6 guys at the line of scrimmage. 6, and we got Shug in the mix up here. That's what he goes by, right?
That's right, Shug. Yep.
Okay, he's in the house. Who's coming? So this is Wink defense. It can be him. We don't know who's coming. It can be any of these guys, and we execute it good. Shug coming off the edge, left shoulder, keep him inside the defense. Doesn't miss them like we did last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bring the pressure from the quarterbacks, a right-handed quarterback's side there. Right-handed quarterbacks, they all want to escape. In general, Denny, they're going to want to escape this way. But anyway, this is a good job by Shug. Good call. He comes clean. What's all that, man? What's this, man? What the hell is this? What is this? Get away from the dude, man. Go find your teammates. Do I sound like an old boomer, Denny? An old boomer coach?
I mean, I think you're right. You can get a penalty for that. That's a little bit of time.
I know you can.
I know.
What the hell are you going to do all that craziness for? You made a great play.
You know who you sound like, honestly, Scar, is Tom Brady. Tom Brady's every week when he's doing a game, he's always talking about celebrating with the teammates. And
good, because he's Michigan, man. We talked about.
I mean, you don't mind that comparison. I know you guys sound a little. Tom Brady sounds a little bit like you. I heard you talking about it before I heard Tom Brady. So
we're all brainwashed. That's Michigan. That's State Street football, man. Anyway, this is a bad play. I like Bredesen's block. I like the scheme. I like what Chip is doing. We're pinning guys in. Denny, this stuff. Edge players aren't seeing a lot of this stuff. So this is why this is good. And you're making them play another phase of. In my day, you saw a ton of this stuff. Backs, guards trying to get you hooked inside, and you don't see a ton of it. And we're running it. And Bredesen pins them in, and we're outside. When we could have ran for a first down, we could have thrown it there for 8 yards, and we do this. But I like the concept. I like the execution of how we're blocking it. A quarterback has to be smarter. There's no reason. He's got this guy right here. He could have ran, picked up yards. What the hell? But that's, he's got to see it on film, and you got to understand where you're at, man. Who's in the game? We don't do a good job recognizing that this is the running quarterback. We don't do a good job here. This is the running kid. It's 3rd and 5. They block us. They execute it. They block down. They kick out. They just get us in man defense, and this is a well executed play by them. And I just think we should have been knowing who this is the running quarterback. And this is the downside, Denny, of playing a bunch of linebackers at the edge position. This is Cole Sullivan. He's been a football player. He's played here all his life, inside linebacker. Now you got him on the edge. And this is the same thing with Barham. How good is he going to be taking on guards like this? When you play on the edge, you got to play with your hands more than you play inside here. It's different techniques. And this is that's not real good right there. He can't blame the kid. He hasn't had a ton of reps at it. You follow me?
Yeah.
It's like, you're taking a guy who's a good baseball player. He's a good shortstop. And now you're going to say, go play catcher. Okay, he's a good player, but it's different. Anyway, they kick a field goal. I like our protection. I like this blocking. Is this Haynes or is that that's Haynes again? Punching. Yeah. Tight window in there. Tall quarterback. Not getting knocked down. They got a weakness in their defense. Yeah, we got slants either way. We got either player. I mean, we got this with him. We got it with him. It's just a weakness of what they're doing. Catch the ball, secure it. And then we do something good here, Denny. We line up. And we line up quickly. And who's in the game, though, they're jacked up. They're trying to sub or something. But we run this tight wedge formation, but we do it with 3 receivers in the game. We got 1, 0, and 9 in the game. And we're running wedge down in here. And These guys we're not changing personnel. So we don't want to let them change personnel, and it's good coaching. And we just wedge it down in there and hammer them. So that's good coaching.
I don't know if I've ever seen. I have never seen that before, where the wideouts are in there tight.
Well, they didn't want to change personnel. Tight. It's end of that was end of the half, right? Well, yeah, it's end of the half. So it's just smart. It's smart coaching. It's end of the half. Let's not screw around. Let's run the play. Let's catch them off. Defense don't want to see. Again, this is more stuff the defense doesn't want to see. It's 1st and 10. I show this is stuff Nebraska don't want to see. Look at this. This is another. What the hell is this? Is this predetermined again? again, I'm looking at this. I'm like, is this a predetermined run, or is he recognizing this fast that there's a seam in there? Because it looks like it might be quarterback. It looks like it might be quarterback ISO. Just follow this lead back right in here, right? Could be a quarterback draw ISO. But look at the back. The back isn't even looking. He's just coming out like he's going out for a pass then. Now he's, oh, shit, I guess Bryce is running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So looking at this play, this is why, again, Denny coaching, you're like, what the hell are they doing here? How do I defend this? And looking at the back, it tells you that it's not a predetermined run. It's probably he recognizes a seam and he's just taken off quick. Now it's paid off against Central Michigan. Other guys are gonna what's good about this, Denny, is this when defenses see this on film, like when a defense sees this on film, okay, these guys they might be getting crummy drops because they're worried about him, who has a reputation of a guy who takes off quick. You follow me? And runs. So they might be eyes on the quarterback, maybe not get as much depth in their drops as they should, and worried about him stepping up in the pocket. So I think that was something he saw and recognized based on what the back did, how he didn't block. He went out for a pass. But it could be all part of the deception.
He looks so natural, carrying it out. It looks, it looks great.
There's a good run there, but these guys are not as athletic as we're going to see. Here's power. Okay, this is number. What do we got here? Oh, I like the way this is actually. This is we got to be great at running power. Which tight end are we running that to? Okay, Klein's in the game. I want to see us run this with 80 in the game. Anyway, Klein is in the game. We didn't have him against Oklahoma. You see the difference in the blocking. Look at that. Look at Klein. This is what we got to have. And then we're pulling our backside guard. He's logging, right? The same technique. He's got to read the run support. So he's reading the runs. What's this guy doing? Is he coming hard? He'll kick him out. He sits at the line of scrimmage. Again, we used to call it hook a hanger, kick a comer. So he's hooking them, and then they're in some kind of – this is a poorly coached team here. They lose contain. They got one guy getting two. Nice run. Nice execution by Michigan. Nice play call. Good block by our tight end. Here's the offset eye. It's 4th and 1, Danny. This is why we gave $12 million to the kid down the street in Belleville. It's you can't take credit for coaching this, but it's 4th and 1, and we're calling a pass play. And they defended. They got everybody covered. Surprised they covered it. I'm surprised they defended it so well. I mean, they got a guy here, and they got a guy somewhat here. And Bryce is up running. They get a guy containing the quarterback, so they have it fairly defended for 4th and 1. They're not fearing Michigan's going to run it. And look at this. You can't coach that.
No.
But this is the stuff that really slow that whole defense down, man. That's what we gave $12 million for right there. You can't coach that.
No, you watch the Ravens enough, you see guys, they'll have two guys flooding in on Lamar Jackson, and he just at least once a game he does stuff like that, and that Underwood can do stuff like that. So it's great to have him on your side. That's for sure. You try to chase that guy down, get him on the ground. You can do everything right, and he can still burn you.
Hansen made a play, right? We've had guys make plays. We got to have this against Nebraska. We got to make plays, man. You play in the kind of game we're going to play. 22 is who?
On defense?
Michigan. 22.
Elijah Dotson.
Great play. Belleville. He's out of Belleville, right?
Yep. Bryce's teammate.
What year is he?
Freshman.
Freshman. Okay, this dude right here, Denny. We were so high on him in the spring game. Hoffman. You know, 'cause I liked what I saw him blocking. I said, we got another tight end that can block. And he gets in the game, and, you know, he's getting part of a double team, but they're launching this dude. You know, he's showing toughness. He's showing, you know, again, it's a double team. But he's a mystery to me why he doesn't play, because I thought he was really a good physical tight end which we need. I wanted to have multiple guys that we can run behind. And I don't know what he does that's not getting him on the field.
Well, he's got four guys in front of him. It's tough.
Yeah, but then look at that. Look what he's doing. I mean, we're Marshall and Hanson and now this kid. But I saw this guy block in the spring game that really impressed me. I'm seeing him here again. So it's just a mystery. That's all I'm saying. It's a mystery. I don't know what the hell he does. You know, I sound like a parent because that's what the parents. You know, they say, hey, you don't see the kid in practice all week. I do. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what they would say is, hey, Mr. Scarcelli, you know, we have, you know, Marlon Klein, who's a great inline blocker, Max Bredesen. We've got Zach Marshall. We've got Hogan Hansen. We just got a lot of guys. We really like Hoffman. We just got a lot of guys. I mean, he's fighting for he's making all those guys in front of him better.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a mystery.
You're not falling for my BS.
No, I hear you, Denny. I hear you talking. I just every time I've watched the kid play, he's shown me physicality as a tight end blocker, and he's doing something that I guess I catch him on his good days. That's the moral of that story. Anyway, Beigel is getting a lot of reps. And he had more reps than Denny, 76. So he's showing him something. Nice job by 18 linebacker. What's his name?
18 Troy Bowles.
Bowles. Nice hit here, hustling. You know, and we get this thing recovered. We all saw this. But you know, get that ball out of there. Got like 3 more plays. Here's Davis in the game, and I wish we would have let him throw the football, but that's when you're up 56. Sometimes ethically, it's not something you do as a coach. You know, Jim Harbaugh probably would have thrown the ball. His mentality was different sometimes, but I don't think Biff let this guy throw it all, right?
No, I don't think he did.
See, that's the old high school coach in Biff. Anyway, this is Jaden, and we want to get him work. We want to get him reps. He was the first one in the game, so you got to believe this is how they would go if something happened to Underwood. And we run this same stuff. Again, same thing I want to see. I want to see fakes, and it's if I was the head coach, I'd be yelling at my quarterback coach. This is a BS fake. I want them to have to honor that he might keep the football. You know, Denny? Because the play's in.
Lindsey's the quarterback coach.
Who is?
Chip Lindsey.
Yeah, well, I'd be yelling at him.
What about Jasper? You like him? Jasper Parker?
Yeah, we got a lot of tough running backs, man. So that was a good good win. Played a lot of guys, came out healthy, confidence. The big fella, I was wondering what was up with Gio. I'm disappointed. He's from my hood. He's Sterling Heights. I'm Warren, so I was wanting to see him back. And then what else do I got?
Oh, you got
that's it, I guess. Oh, and this guy here, Denny, this kid, Garnera,
yeah.
Garnera did some good things. What he did will make the decisions tougher for the coaches when the other kid comes back. Not so much Gio, but maybe the other guy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, they might start him over Norton, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So that's why getting that game, it's like Wally Pipp, right?
Could be.
You know the story of Wally Pipp, right?
I do. I know the Iron Horse.
Oh,
And
what's that over there?
I didn't know you liked baseball, Scar. So that was it.
Yeah, what's going on over here, Denny? That's a whole other game right there.
Oh, I wasn't familiar with her game. I guess I was just so concentrated on football. I wasn't even thinking anything.
Denny, we've been going. I mean, we're going long. I had Nebraska. Maybe I'll jump in later this week and.
Okay.
Anyway, some of the questions. Yeah, I'm big on Barham on the edge, big time, man.
Yeah, somebody wanted to know that. Somebody they call him Suge Knight, Jair Hill, not Suge Knight, because that's the only Suge that I knew for Suge Hill. But I guess there's a Suge Hill. But I think they call him that because he likes candy. They call him Suge. I'm not sure.
Well, he gets more reps than any of our players most games, Denny. He's on special teams. And you look at the snap count. Suge is in the mix, boy.
He'd be like me if I was playing basketball, Scar. They'd be calling me Hops, and everybody say, "Well, he didn't look like he could really jump." They're like, "No, it's because of hops and barley, not because he could jump."
Anyway, yeah, but things are good. Let's make it happen, man. Jerry D, baby, we're praying for you. The pride of Youngstown, he's in the fight. But he's still in the hospital, and we're praying for him. And he's a bad dude, and he's Michigan, man. Ain't no one fighting for that would fight for Michigan. Let me say this about Jerry, Denny. I play with. There's one thing going on the 50 coming out of that tunnel, but if there's a dude I got to go into that alley with or fight some dudes in the parking lot, I want Diorio next to me.
Oh.
That's my man, generous Jerry Diorio. So keep praying for Jerry.
Take it out like Jerry would. I don't know if you heard him all the time at the end of his podcast. You know what he always said, Scar?
Yeah, what was his line? Hail to the victors.
There it is. There it is. That's what he would say.
In honor of the legend out of Youngstown. Hail to the victors. Go blue.
There he is. Scar.